What's going on, guys? In today's video, we're going to be building a miter saw station. I kind of drew this up myself and customized it to the way that I liked it. So let's get into the video and I'll show exactly how I made this. So the first thing that we had to do was just spackle some of the existing holes that were in the wall from the previous countertop that was there. And then we went ahead and put up the 2x4 studs to where this miter saw station is going to sit. And there you have it. We have the out part of this table that's going to be holding the tabletops, and they're ready to be mounted to the stud brackets. Now we went ahead and clamped this, put some pocket hole screws in, and screwed it to the stud. Now we'll go ahead and do the legs. Then you guessed it, we're going to add some pocket holes to secure this piece. And now that we're done with that, we're going to go ahead and attach the end side of this miter station. And we just went ahead and took those pieces and we're going to make a 90 with them and attach them with the pocket holes. Use a straight edge guide for this to just make sure that the pieces are even and flush on the back and the ends. All right, guys, so I just stained the entire thing, and now it's time to put the tabletops on. I chose like a chestnut color, as you could see here, and I just went around and stained everything besides the top, obviously, because that's where I'm putting the tabletop. Let me show you the tabletop I got. So this is the tabletop that I went with. It's 6 foot by 24 inches. Now, I'm only going to use this on the top part of this miter stand. I'm not going to use it where the actual miter saw is going to go. And this is going to just kind of need to be smooth and clean so that the wood can slide easily across it. I'm going to give you a little tip here. Before you actually stain or add any finish to the wood, spray it with some water. That's going to raise the grain of the wood so that you don't have to go back and sand it again after you do this initial sanding. It's called water popping. Now I'm going to take a piece of plywood and just rip it down on the table saw. This is going to be the piece of plywood that goes under the actual miter saw. It's going to get banged up. I have to screw through it to secure it. So I went with a little bit of a cheaper plywood for this. Now just take your orbital sander or just use regular sandpaper if you don't have it and sand it down to 220 to get a real sleek and smooth finish. All right, guys, so I want to kind of show you what I've been doing. I said that I was going to put the tabletops on. So in order to do that, what I did was sand these down like I said I was going to. I applied a black stain that I wanted. I sanded the top down again, and then I also did a little chamfer on the corners with the trim router. After that, I went ahead and cut a hole in the back, which is where my dust collection hose is going to come out and go into my miter saw. I also set a level on here to make sure that this was level and put some shims underneath to give the miter saw the correct level that it needed. And then I took some 3-inch bolts and bolted these down, so this thing ain't going anywhere. So my choice of finish was just a water-based polyurethane. This thing's going to get beat up. It's a miter saw station after all. So I went ahead and just applied 2 coats of polyurethane to the top of this to give it a nice protection and shine. All right, guys, so the next thing that I'm going to do is add a fence that I'm going to put T-track on top of. And then I got these little stoppers so that I can make repeatable cuts and that they're completely accurate. So let's cut down the fences, and then I'm going to stain them and then put the T-track on top. Now you can see when I make this cut, if I want to make this cut again, I'm not going to be able to. I'm going to have to remeasure it. So what I'm going to do is put the fence right here, and then put a stop on the top of it that's going to hang down. Stop the wood, in this instance, at 36 inches. And then I'll be able to back it up to that and keep making 36-inch cuts. So that is the finished product, guys. The only thing that I left out is I'm going to do the same thing with this fence on the right side of the miter saw. No T-track, no measuring tape, so nothing really special to see there. That is the hood that I used 1/2-inch plywood for. Pretty simple and straightforward. I plan on adding a shroud to that also. So guys, I hope you liked that video. I really do love this miter station. The next thing that I want to do is do a table saw bench. So I'm going to be filming that also, and that'll be another video. I hope you guys were able to take some good tips away from this. Like any project, there could be a little things along the way that you're like, you know what, I want to do that a little different. And that's what's cool about woodworking, is you can be creative and do whatever you want to do. You just take a basic idea and make it for you. So subscribe down below, guys. I have plenty more content coming, and I think you guys are going to enjoy it. So join me along for the journey. I'll see you guys later.